guys, it's your girl Siobhan. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Bohemian Soul. As always, much love, much appreciation for those that are subscribed to me. And if you're new, welcome. Definitely, if this is something that interests you, you should definitely subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the notification button so that way you'll always be notified whenever I make new videos. I also have a podcast which is called Bohemian Soul as well, which is kind of like very similar to what I'm doing right now. I do post like other topics and stuff like that, so if that's something that might interest you, definitely check that out too if you're into like podcasts and stuff. Yeah, so how's everyone doing? Hey, it's November and it's still nice outside, so like let's be grateful for that. I've been telling myself that, like, you know what, despite everything that's happening and going on, I'm gonna just try to like find you know, things to be grateful for, because I just can't be like in a funk all day, you know, like I'm just like, let me just be happy. Okay, so I'm grateful that today is really nice outside and it's November. I mean, granted, yeah, like it's fall, so I feel like in New York City, like, you know, fall time is still pretty good. You know, it could be hit or miss, but I think for the most part we still get like good weather. Hell, even in December, like my birthday is like the 18th. I am not a winter baby, despite what people think. I am a fall baby. My birthday is the 18th of December, and fall does not. Winter doesn't start until I think the 21st, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's definitely like the 21st, 22nd. So yeah, I am a fall baby. I'm at the very ending, but don't try to play me, because, all right, I get that a lot. I'm not a winter baby. So yeah, like even up to my birthday, I've had like really nice like days. So I really feel like, you know, it's not too bad. Like I feel like you get maybe like 2 like solid months of like really like horrible weather. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. So I'm not about to complain. I hope everyone's holding up good. You know, I know it's a lot of intensity in the air right now just because like the election and everything that's going on, which I think is crazy that like we still haven't come to a conclusion. This has been drawn out long enough, but I'm not here to talk about politics or anything like that. But, you know, I get it. You know, I know it's like a lot of intensity right now. So I definitely feel it heavy in the air. So I'm going to jump into my topic for today. And today for my topic, I wanted to talk about like childhood traumas. Cause I feel like, you know, when I have conversations with people, like, you know, a lot of, things from childhood comes up a lot. And, you know, I say this to people all the time. I'm like, listen, you know, when it comes to the kids, like we have to be like super sensitive and compassionate to children. Like I know that you think like their world is so small and like the things that they worry about is just like so minimal or whatever, but I mean, truth be told, like, you know, you gotta like try to go back to your own childhood. You know, I think that's a big problem. Like we kind of like just, we're so shaped by the world that we forget who we were. You know what I'm saying? We forget those childlike versions of ourselves, you know, because when shit was happening as children, like it was a whole soap opera. Like you could have lost your stuffed animal. Like it was like so dramatic, you know, because that's what you knew, you know, like you don't know bills, you don't know like heartache from like lovers and stuff like that. You have not like really experienced that, you know, like, so, you know, even though like it's on a really small scale, it still counts, you know. And the reason why I know that it still counts is because people still carry a lot of that stuff to their adulthoods, because we'll have conversations and I'm like, so where did you get that idea from, or like where, you know, whatever. And then when we get into deep conversations, you find out that's some shit from like their childhood. So we can't just go on and like try to like ignore children or like dismiss them as if they're not like human beings, you know, because it's very important to like our growth. You know, I really feel that when you say and do damaging things to children, that, you know, unfortunately that's like one of the hardest things to get over, you know, because children, like it's like you mentally record things, you know, like, and you hold on to those things. Sometimes we don't even, we may not forget like situations, but we don't ever forget how we feel, and like those feelings like we just kind of like have embedded into our lives, you know. And I really feel like you know, in this day and age, I think that it would be so beneficial to do things that help to like recall past childhood traumas, because sometimes, you know, there's things that happen that we don't like fully remember because we try to like block it out. But I think it's good to like face it and address it. And, you know, there's so many different things that you can do to help to, you know, address these things. Like, for instance, I feel that I met this lady at my old job, which is so funny. I used to bartend or whatever, and I used to get like a bunch of interesting people that come in. Not everybody wants you to be their therapist, thank God, because like, yo, that was the one thing I couldn't deal with. I was like, listen, I'm trying to get through my own problems. I don't need you guys coming in every day with something for me. Like, I'm just here to give you a drink. Like, I don't have all the answers. I'm sorry. I don't know if you think I look like that kind of person, but I don't have it. But yeah, like every now and then I would get like some really interesting people come in, and you know, because I'm into like spirituality and talking about like, you know, very like spiritual things and deep things. And so this lady came in one time, and she was basically telling me that you know, she was doing some kind of workshop or whatever, and she was like, you know, a good thing that people should do that people probably never think about is to like write a letter to your inner child, you know, because that version of us is still there, you know, whether we notice it or not, like whether we have all the memories or not, that version of us is there and maybe calling out to us and we don't even know it, you know. And she was like, you know, you gotta like kind of freestyle write it, like it could be, you know, an apology letter, or it could be just, you know, just like a reminiscent kind of thing, but some things to like help you recall your childhood and see if there's anything that comes up in the midst of it that might, you know, correlate to things that you suffer from or go through in your day-to-day. And I was like, damn, like I'd never thought about like sitting down and like writing a letter to like the childhood version of myself. That's wild, you know. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, like that happened so many years ago, and to this day I still have not done it. But I think more so my reasoning for not doing it is because I'm afraid of what might be said, you know. Like sometimes you think you want to be, you're prepared to like face certain things about yourself or whatever the case is, and then you start like freestyle writing and you're like, damn, like ever look back at some stuff that you wrote and be like, damn, like I was really like going through it, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It could be therapy, it might be therapeutic, you know, like something that you really needed to kind of like heal and like move on from. I just haven't been ready to do it, but I think that like, you know, I'm for sure gonna do it. I was just throwing that out there as a suggestion for people if, you know, you wanted to get past certain things. Man, it never fails, y'all. Every time I want to record, it never fails. It could be silent as hell. Silent as hell. And as soon as I want to record, New York City just want to be loud. It's cold. Hold up. Because they're not about to do this to me today again. Fucking loud ass. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so definitely a suggestion, because I really do think that that's a good idea. Like I've just been struggling with the idea of doing it because I wouldn't even know where to start. But I don't think it matters. I think it's just, you know, you just do it. Like it's all about freestyle. You know, you ever done like freestyle writing like in school and whatever? It's just like kind of whatever comes to mind. And I think that we would be surprised at what, you know, we might come up with, you know, and how it may like help us to heal and stuff like that. I think another good thing that can be done, and this may not be possible for like every single person or situation, you know, it just depends on whatever, but I think it would be good to have a conversation with your parent, you know, if they're still alive, or if they're still in your life actively or whatever the case is. Like, you know, sometimes I'd be thinking to myself, like and it's hard because, you know, they come from a whole different world, a whole different generation, and a whole different way of just like operating and whatnot. So, you know, they don't understand us, and they don't realize that like speaking about things can like really help to heal shit, you know. And because sometimes I'd be wanting to have a conversation with my mom. My father's not here anymore, but so I can't really, you know, but my mom, you know, I really want to have a conversation and be like, you know, why were you like doing XYZ? But sometimes like I get really creative about how I ask her questions, so that way it doesn't come across as like me just putting her in a, I don't know, maybe an uncomfortable position, or having to relive things that she might regret, you know, I don't know. But like, I think I kind of asked her about her childhood. So, you know, I get an idea of like which parent was more strict, or which parent was this, or where she might have thought that she felt like she had to be this way, and why she might have thought it was okay to portray it on me and whatnot. You know, there might be some healing and therapy in that as well. That's definitely not always an easy thing to do, because that requires that other person to like be ready to like open up, you know? But I definitely think also something that's worth a try. I just really think that it's very important that we begin to address these past traumas, because, I feel like a lot of the times as people, like, we want to sweep things underneath the rug and not really like address. And I don't know if maybe in our minds we believe that, if you just kind of sweep it underneath the rug, that it just won't be there anymore. But that's not how that works. It will always be there. It will be there energetically. It will be there haunting you, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, whatever. It will be there until you are ready to address these issues. And that's, you could relate that to anything in life, and trying to confront things is like a very hard thing because people don't like confrontation. People don't like to feel uncomfortable, but sometimes you have to have these uncomfortable conversations. Sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable because in the uncomfortable is where, a lot of these answers lie, Sometimes, like, I find myself, I'm the type of person when I come home, like, I don't want to sit still, like, I know I seem chill, but I am, like, busybody. I'm always trying to find something to do. And one day I thought about it. I was like, why do I do that? Why do I always have to be like, oh, let me fix this, let me do this? Why can I just never just lay down and just chill for a second? And I realized, and I feel like a lot of people realize this too, like when you're by yourself and, like whatever, it's quiet and you're chilling, you're kind of like, you're with yourself, like, which I feel like a lot of us have been facing through this quarantine and, pandemic and stuff, we've basically been kind of like forced to have to be with ourselves. And it's hard because you never know what kind of things are gonna like come to the forefront of your mind, and it can be confrontational to yourself or things that you were not prepared to deal with. But like, it's harder because it's in your head. It's not like somebody where you can be like, okay, this person's about to touch up on some shit that I'm not prepared for. I'm gonna just get up and go. Like, this is you, like, this is you. This is your shit, So it's like, damn, like, I realized that, like, I just, especially in times like this where there's so much uncertainty, like, I've been having anxiety out the roof, just dealing with my life and not being sure about where things are going to go and whatnot, just things that like I've always had trouble with, you're just left to be faced with these things and it's not always pleasant. But, the other day I was just like, you know what, sometimes you just got to just surrender to it. Just be like, all right, this is me. This is it. Like, let me just go ahead and like, kind of like face and face whatever and see what happens. Yeah, so I definitely think something to also like for sure consider as well. But yeah, like I've had so many conversations with so many people about childhood stuff, and I realized like, oh my God, like, when we were younger, it was like, sometimes like I envy children because I'm like, yo, they're just so carefree and like there's just so much like they're so fearless. Like even when I think about my 20s, like I think about like how fearless I was. Like I was just like, oh, I'm about to do this, I could do that. Now you ask me about certain things, I'm like, no, like it's weird. Like you get so scarred by life and by people that you don't even know who you are anymore because now you're just so stuck. You don't want to do anything, And I feel like, those moments are what kind of like silently kill people inside, like, because you're not exploring parts of yourself anymore. You really don't know who you are if you're not even willing to put yourself out there, And so I feel like I find myself trying to backtrack a lot and also like go back in time to like really figure out who I thought I was and, see if that still resonate with who I want to be today. Which is why I think it's so important that we, take a step back and go a little bit backwards. Like it's okay to go into the past, like even when it's painful, because there's like bits and pieces that we need to pick up, and it's, I know it's not like a pleasant thing, but you'd be surprised what you come up with. Like I really do feel like it definitely helps to like kind of give you direction and kind of let go parts of you that you thought were yourself, but someone probably influenced that, or things that happened that you felt like you had to like be in survival mode or whatever the case is, because that's not who you are. It's not who you are. I feel like we've known who we are, but you know, the older you get, the more experiences that you have, like it kind of like shapes you and like pulls you away from those parts. But you got to be willing to dig up and do some work to like really figure out those, you know, those parts of you that are still there, but and just waiting for you to like just, you know, find the magic inside or whatever, you know. But yeah, so, you know, that's my tidbit for today. Y'all hit me up and let me know what you think. Again, I always tell people or encourage people to just, you know, if you have any topics that you want me to like talk about, let me know. I'm definitely always interested in talking about different things and such. And yeah, you know, I hope you guys are having a good day and you find some things to be grateful for. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Take care.